Hopefully this will be better. Welcome to Sour Fitness. Thank you for stopping in if you're here. I apologize for the audio right now. I'm using a microphone that I normally wouldn't use for something like this, but the microphone that I was hoping to use, it's all jacked up. I'm missing one cable and I can't get it to work. So I apologize for that, y'all. But this is like a little, I'm going to be talking about some real information, but it's kind of a test run because I'll be doing these live streams every Saturday morning. I'm just doing one on a Sunday because I really want to get going on them. I'm tired of sitting back on it, and I needed to make myself hit the button and get it going. So I chose to do it today, but my microphone is not the correct microphone, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna be using my phone a little bit, y'all, today because I can't see the monitor over there to be able to see if anybody is in the live chat and things like that. So I'm actually going to use this guy. Man, I don't know if anyone's seeing it, if this image is actually coming through or not. Let me know in the chat if you're here, if you're seeing the image, because oh no, there we go. Okay, we are. I got it. It popped up on the phone, so I'm feeling better about it. All right. Now let me try to get started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vernon Coles. I'm the founder of Usawa Fitness. Usawa Fitness is the Swahili word Usawa means balance. So this is Balance Fitness. Again, bear with me if I'm looking at my phone. I just want to make sure that I'm acknowledging anyone who jumps into the onto the feed here today. I just want to say, thank you for everybody or anybody who shows up. I said this earlier, but I don't think anybody heard it. But I understand that I'm probably going to be the only one talking or hearing my voice this morning. But I'm trying to do this feed in order to get going and kind of getting started with some live streams. And I'm kind of testing out the equipment, trying to figure out the bugs. So I needed to do a run, but I want to give you some quality information. And I'm used to not getting a whole lot of views, because when I first switched over back from training in the gym to training virtually and doing house calls, I was only getting like 6 or 7 views. I do a video, I put a week and a half of effort into it, and like 10 people will watch it. And but I'm getting, I just reached 20,000 views yesterday. So I expect this to grow as I get better at it and as more people get to know me. So let's talk a little bit. It looks like somebody is here. I'm just going to ask you if you're here. It says there's a couple people in the chat. If you're here, just let me know that you can hear and see me, okay? But I was, I called this, I wanted to talk about the fact that I believe the pandemic is obviously the worst thing that we ever faced in our lifetime for most of us. For most of us, I shouldn't even say most of us, for a lot of us. But for most of us as like a group, this has been a really obviously trying kind of experience for everybody. I feel sorry for the kids, man. I feel so sorry for the young kids and the young, early 20s, when this is such a pivotal moment for their life. Because they all about that social interaction and they're not getting it. But it's a lot easier for a lot of us as a little bit older. I'm 50, and it's easy to kind of sit back and be in the house and so forth. And it's a great time to gain weight and to kind of take a back seat on health, because you really don't want to go into a health club. A lot of you don't want to go into it. I can tell by the amount of people that are willing to come train with me in the gym. And that's, the numbers are way down for good reasons. But with that being said, it's like a really good time to pick up some great habits and try to use this transitional period now where we got a vaccine and we're on the brink of being able to get back outside and get into our regular lives. And it's been easy to cover up when you ain't got nobody to see you. But you know what? The day is coming. The day of reckoning. Winter is coming. And it's only a few more months before we get outside again. And you might want to start thinking about how you want to look and feel at that time. Excuse me, I'm just, like I said, I'm still continuing to check the chat on my phone to see whether or not any of you can hear or see me. I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep on talking in hopes that this is getting through. Like I said, this is a test run. I'm trying to get this thing in a good place so that I can start doing some live feeds on every Saturday, starting next Saturday. But so, like I said, this is a great time to start working on some healthy habits. This is a time where you can start kind of getting into a groove and kind of learning what it means to live the kind of lifestyle that you want to live when you want to start getting fit. And I would say for most of you, a good place to start is to determine why you want to lose weight, or get fit, I should say. Am I wanting to get fit because, I got some kind of event coming up? Am I wanting to get fit because the doctor says I'm overweight? Am I wanting to get fit because I'm on the brink of, having to take some medicines that I really don't want to take, but I'll be forced to take if I don't make some lifestyle changes and so forth? So first thing is to ask yourself why. Because sometimes the why is strong enough to lead you to make the type of decisions that, that'll lead to that different lifestyle. I remember my dad, he had prostate cancer I think it was 2008 or 2009 when he got prostate cancer. And I remember he was saying to me, and we used to always drink, he and I lived with him since I was 14, and he would drink this cranberry juice, and he would always, say, yeah, man, it's supposed to be good to help you from the prostate cancer. And when he got that prostate cancer, I remember we were sitting there in the doctor's office, and he's like, man, I drank all that cranberry juice. I literally have not seen cranberry juice in my dad's refrigerator since then, and we always had it. But he smoked my entire life. I think I remember him quitting for a couple months, maybe once or twice in my entire life. And, I'm like, Dad, well, now you see, you got it. We figured it out. We got it out. Now you're living healthy. You're going to be living healthier. And I went to visit him, and he said he was going to stop smoking. And it was like 2 weeks later, and this dude was smoking. And I was smoking so angry because I'm like, man, dude, you gas something in front of you that should have been strong enough for you to make a change in your life. And he was like, well, this didn't give me the cancer. Like, dude, come on, man. I love you too much to be hearing you say something like that when I don't want to lose you to something like this. But I say all that to say that years later, he had an experience with his legs where some of his arteries weren't, the blood wasn't getting back down up to his heart at the right speed because some of the arteries in his legs had thinned out. And that dude quit like cold turkey because something got in front of him that was strong enough to say, I gotta quit. Because this did come as a result of the smoking. And he haven't smoked since. House smelling good. I'm like, man, one time I had a pair of binoculars I had let him hold down. Actually, I gave them to him. Because I ordered something online that came with the binoculars on his dime. So I guess they was his to start with. But when I went to Africa, I took those binoculars, and when I pulled them out, I could smell the smoke. And I'm like, man, this whole house was smoked up, and we didn't even realize it. But anyway, you know, if something gets in front of you, you don't want it to become a situation where there's some kind of life-threatening circumstance that creates a situation where you gotta start losing weight, or you gotta get healthy, or you gotta start exercising. But maybe that's what it is. When you ask the why, maybe the why will be something that says, hey, I gotta start working out for, you know, this reason. But start asking that question and figure out once you ask yourself that why, figure out what it's going to take for you to be able to address that why. You know, what kind of healthy habits can you create? But it's time to ask yourself what the reasons are. Is it because I really just want to look like I used to look, you know? And it's all possible, y'all. I'm definitely a walking example of somebody that got, you know, terribly out of shape and changed, you know, their ways. And, you know, I got a video, you Live Your Best Life video you can check out. I'll see if I can link the link up top. But I'm not going to go into that. We already talked about that, so I'm not going to get into it. But I did get out of shape. Not crazy, but 50 pounds up. And I took that off. But after that, after you've asked yourself that why, then you got to start setting some goals, you know? And you got to set your goals with little bitty tiny micro goals. You got a bigger goal down the line, but you give yourself some really healthy expectations on how I could get to my goal, but I don't want to feel like it's going to happen next week. Because if you gained X amount of weight in 3 weeks, you probably would have made a change in that 3 weeks to not gain 50 pounds. If you saw yourself gain 25 pounds in a week, you would definitely address it at 25 pounds. But it don't happen like that. It's typically a little tiny, for a lot of us, 3 to 5 pounds a year that just keeps rising. And unfortunately, most people don't naturally start to come off of that weight gain without basically getting sick, you know, or making a change to bring that weight down and to change that lifestyle. So you want to set a little micro goal so that you can take that weight off the same way you put it on over time, and not expect to get where you want to be in 3 months, and 4 months, and 5 months. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, you know, with some micro, you know, attention to everything you do, you can definitely go through huge weight loss in a very short period of time. But have you made the little changes that create the lifestyle that you can continue to keep that weight off, and that you can feel good about how you did it? Because a lot of times when people take it off really fast, it's coming back just as quick, because they just got really determined over a short period of time, but they didn't really create the lifestyle changes that were going to create long-term change. We call that yo-yo weight loss. When it kind of comes down, comes right back up. So some of the ways to prevent that, obviously, is you want to lift weights. All right, doing a bunch of cardio is a phenomenal way to lose weight quick. But if you want to lose weight, keep it off, especially if you're at over 30, you need to start lifting weights, and you need to lift heavy weights. You don't, for you women out there who are afraid to do that, you're not going to create a body that looks like a dude unless you want to. That is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot to get the type of muscles you see on some of these super dedicated bodybuilding women, and men. But it takes, a lot of discipline. But more importantly, it takes a lot of the diet has to be very specific, and you have to work with the right supplements. But lifting heavy weights and doing it in a way that is designed and programmed for weight loss is definitely something you want to lean on for long-term weight loss. And you can look that up. And it'll usually be built around circuit training and even HIIT. A lot of, people like some of these classes like Orange Theory and things like that. They're not just on bikes, y'all. They're picking up weights and they're moving weights, and they're trying to usually move a weight that they're not using the lightest weight they can use. All right, so something to think about. I got my little notes in here. Now let me make sure. Let me check to see whether anybody is here real quick. Okay, yeah, Ed was able to get on. Thank you for coming on. I hope that you were hearing and seeing what I'm doing here. This is a test run, y'all, so I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to be able to do this on a weekly basis. But this is my test, inaugural kind of try at all of this. So we'll see how it goes. So once you set those little goals, y'all, we're going to try to learn how to focus on them. In my kitchen, I have a wall, and I painted this wall as chalk. And I go up there, and when I was losing my weight, I would write on my wall, here's where I weigh right now. Here's what I weigh right now. And here's what I weigh this week. Here's what I weigh next week. You need to journal. You need to write it down. You need to figure out what kind of, you need metadata, all right? Metadata is just the data that says what's happening. We don't want to just guess our way through all of this. We wanted to say, okay, this week I ate, 1,700 calories every day. I worked out and I burned 500 calories every day. And, I went to sleep at, this time. You want to kind of start drawing a picture of what it looks like to live your healthy lifestyle. Now, with that metadata, if you have all that written down, or in some application like MyFitnessPal or Noom or whatever your application of choice is, or paper, you can go back and look back and say, okay, look, in December I was doing this, and this, and I was down 6. But in January I was doing this, and I was up 3. All right, you start painting a picture of what it looks like. You don't have to do that all your life, y'all. If you do it for long enough to get consistent at where you want your body structure to be, it just happens, all right? Because you'll be like, in the morning, I usually eat this and this. At night, I eat this and this. In the afternoon, I eat this. But I also work out here, and here. And it just becomes a very natural thing, because when you eat outside of that, or you don't work out, it's like a shining star. It's like, man, I don't eat burgers. I ate burgers 3 times this week. What is that? I'm not judging anybody. I'm just throwing out some stuff here. But you start learning what it looks like to live your lifestyle the way you need to live it, in order to create an answer to that why, and to address that why. That is, why do I want to live this lifestyle? Why do I want to lose this weight? And maybe it was for a certain event. You got what you needed to do, and now you're back to normal and you don't care. I hope that's not the case, but it can be. In case you weren't here earlier, I'm checking my phone because I can't see. Oh, there you go, my man. Ed, way to come through. I appreciate you, dog. I wasn't sure, man. I like I said, I had this double vision thing, you all, and I can't see far enough to tell what's being said on that screen over there. So I got to use my phone to look at the comments and things like that. So I apologize. I'm not over here like it's like I'm texting or something. But I also have my notes here because I'm long-winded, and if I don't try to keep somewhat on track with these notes, your boy will be sitting back like, man, yeah, dog, man, remember that time I did this, that, and the other? And I'm trying not to be that dude, because I am that dude. But anyway, so you'll start focusing on your goals. And like I said, your goals are going to be micro goals. And you're going to, when you hit one, you're going to write it down and you're going to share it, y'all. Like, don't hide your progress. When I went through my weight loss, I remember Latrice. I had met Latrice Whitaker, a girl I went to high school with. And we got together because she wanted me to, show us some YouTube stuff. Because I wanted to show us some YouTube stuff. Because she's doing some incredible things on Instagram. And she incredibly consistent with her posts. And I'm like, you know what? You need to try to blow that into something even bigger. Try to get your YouTube on. Because you're consistent enough, I think you could meet a bigger audience. But when I met with her, she was like, I remember when you started this. And I was thinking like, yeah, it was 8 months ago. And she was like, no, I remember when you lost all that weight and you was posting on Facebook. And I was like, ooh, I'm loving you right now, Trish. You know what I'm saying? You really are, calling some, looking back in time and acknowledging something that was dear to me, which was my weight loss. But I was posting on Facebook at the time. I was posting pictures every time I lost. Look at here, every week, because I needed to make myself accountable. And that I also wanted to share my happiness, but making myself accountable meant that I told people I'm on this, but I'm on the next 3 months. I'm doing the insanity workout, and here it is. Here I am at the first month. Here I'm at the second month, and so on. And what that did was for me, I didn't want people to see me fail. So it gave me a great way to stay encouraged, motivated, and accountable. Now, everybody doesn't have that same kind of motivation, and that's why I got a job. Because a lot of people, they know how to work out, but they're not going to do it by themselves. And they're not going to do it because they make a statement on Facebook and they just like, I need a trainer. They're like, if you don't do it, because I always say, hey, I'm going to give you a toolbox. I'm going to give you a treasure chest of information so you could go do this on your own. And I have clients say all the time, like, you could keep your toolbox and your treasure chest because I need a trainer, because that's my motivation, that's my accountability, and I won't do it by myself. Well, I'm going to try to help y'all by doing something like this. For some of you who can't have a trainer, maybe you could come outside with fitness, visit, and maybe it'll be enough motivation to hear these Saturday weekly live streams, or to be able to contact me through the chat and whatever, and kind of get into a healthier place. Because at the end of the day, it makes me feel good to know that I'm creating healthy lives. And I want that, you know what I mean? I went to Harpo because I wanted to be a part of something huge where I was making people feel better and changing the world in that way. And now I'm on a smaller platform, but I'm trying to do the same thing, and it's my turn. It's not, instead of having somebody else lead that show. And so I really feel encouraged and love what I'm doing. So don't be afraid to contact me. Even if you cannot take me on as a coach, I still will definitely give you some information. I can't give you what I give, my paying clients, but that doesn't mean I can't help you. I love coffee. So, like I said, celebrate your successes, but also don't be afraid to talk about your struggles, because everybody that tries to change their lifestyle and fitness has some ups and downs. But to rewind this back a little bit, this is a great time to do it all, because when have you ever had this amount of time? When have you been stuck in the house? I know no one on earth I shouldn't say no one. The percentage of people who have less time now than they did 10 months ago are very small. All right? We're not working nowhere. I know we're not working the same way we were. And I know that a lot of you that work at home take breaks and so forth, even when you're working at home. When you're working at home, I know a lot of you are taking breaks and you're doing things throughout the day that you wouldn't have been able to do if you were in the office. Man, take 10 minutes out, jump on the floor, do some, do a couple of inchworms. Okay, take 10 minutes, do a set of Tabata jumping jacks. Set your timer, get a Tabata timer. Go, 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Jumping jacks aggressively for 20 seconds, 10-second break. 20 on, 10-second break. 20 on, 10-second break. Man, this is things you can do, micro changes in your lifestyle that I guarantee you will make a difference in how you feel first. But if you start to combine those things together with longer workouts, you'll make a change physically. All right? But I guarantee you, if you just do that and you knock out 4 minutes of work every day, like I'm asking you, you will feel better. I promise you. And I challenge any of y'all to take that challenge and start adding little micro changes like that in your life and see what it does for you. But this is the time, y'all. I mean, in 7 to 8 months, a lot of us will have taken a vaccine and you'll be back outside and, I'd rather you be the person that can walk out there like the peacock with the feathers out. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad used to say, he's like, look, he come out with like a little feather in his cap. And that was just like the cool thing back in the 70s, it wasn't just a hat. It was a hat with a little feather in it. You knew that dude was feeling good about how he was looking and how he was feeling. But that's how you could go out there in March, April, and May if you start making changes right now, okay? And like I said, these are micro changes, so the changes may not look what you expect them to look like when you hit your end goal. But if you start addressing some of what we're trying to do here today, you could be down. If you just, I'm talking weight loss a lot, you all, because I'm a weight loss specialist. And I deal with a lot of weight loss and a lot of people that come to see me are about weight loss. So this particular talk is more addressed. I'm addressing some of that and how to change it or how to get it. But if you were just losing 2 pounds a month, all right, just 2 pounds a month, and that is a ultra doable goal. You look at when May comes around, that's 10 pounds, all right. Some of you guys be like, well, 10 pounds, what is that? That's nothing. I wish I had my 5 pounds of fat. But 5 pounds of fat is like this, y'all. It's like this wide and about this long. And if you think about that off of your body and you lose 10 of those, man, you're doing some things. You're going to look a lot different, okay? So don't downplay what it's like to lose that kind of weight. And I'm giving you like the easiest of goals when I'm talking about 2 pounds. Because 1 pound a month or 1 pound a week would be a much better goal. And if you do that, what are we talking about? 25 pounds, okay? And so come on, y'all, work with me. 1 pound a week, man. Let's think about a year. Come on. This ain't, micro goals, all right? But it's time consuming because it takes time, but the time you need to put into it is not that crazy. But then it's starting to make those little decisions on your food. And working out is pretty easy. But some of you don't like to do it. But for me, I live my life, I believe I want to make everything fun. If it's not fun, I really don't want to do it. And when I realized that everything we do cannot be fun, But why you gonna go into it not trying to make it fun? It's like when you get somebody that you work with, and they got this great energy. I've lived this energy that I have has been the best blessing God could have ever given me, because it's created a lot of opportunities for me in life. And when I was younger, I didn't have this exact same energy, but I always been a pretty positive dude. And when I got my positivity up on the highest levels, it felt like things just start happening for me better. But I could, when I get a person that come in and they bring a bunch of negativity into the room, you could feel it. Why are you going to do that to your workout? Why are you going to do that to your body and your mental state of mind? When you start your workout, you have got to come into that workout thinking, I'm about to make a change. This is part of what's going to lead to the ultimate change that I want to create in my life. And if you don't, man, that workout is kind of bunk to me. I mean, it's like, how am I addressing, this workout is the front end of what I'm of why I want to change something. And I'm in this workout like it's miserable. Nah, you got to check your mind, man. You got to check your brain. You have to create a situation where each moment in your life, you look at it as, man, this is a great day. First of all, even when I'm trying to get into a better place, I'm alive, So, I mean, that's something to be grateful for already. And then I could jump around. There's some people that can't even move. We did a show on a guy, he made cakes, man. I hope he's still alive. I'm not sure. But he had gotten so out of shape, he was confined to his bed. And when they came to get him, they had to get him out of the bed with a crane. And they had to cut the wall open to get him out. He was still making the cakes, just writing them down. And somebody was going in and they were doing all the recipe, creating the recipe, or following the recipe, but he was giving them what to mix and all that. But he was confined to his bed with all kind of sores on his body and things like that. But at least you could get out there and actually do a jumping jack. Come on, man. Have some love for yourself, man, and where you been at and put at in this world before you start, down in what you're about to do, man. This is an incredible thing. I'm healthy enough to work out. So start there, man. Have some love for what you're doing, y'all. This workout is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to work out. But work out positively. And then let that positively affect your food. That's where I was going. And start trying to make these little micro decisions, because working out, that even if you don't like it, that little 1 hour is easy. It's the next 23 hours that you have to address how you're going to eat. And I just encourage y'all, which we'll talk about that the next week when I come on here. But I encourage you to start by setting some goals. Start asking yourself why I want to lose weight, why I want to, get stronger, why I want to be able to run faster, whatever it is that you're trying to get out of your workouts. And then start, asking yourself, how can I do it? What kind of goals can I set for myself? What's the first goal? What goal can I set today that will start leading me to my end goal in 2 years from now? All right? Set that goal down the line. Don't set that goal real close, but set your micro goals. Set your big goal down the line, and then set your micro goals for right now. And then each week, you can feel great about making those tiny little steps that you're going to monitor in that metadata that show you how I started to make the change and where I started to make the change. And you can look back and say, I killed it. Like, I killed it. And then you can look back and say, I was killing it for a while, but I fell off. But look, right there in December, that month shows me I'm capable of doing it. But that metadata is what's going to show you. That data that you log, writing down, putting in your app, making your little work spreadsheet, whatever you have, whatever way you choose to do it, you're going to have a hard copy of what you did to start creating some of these changes. Well, I feel like I've talked and rambled on enough with this bad microphone, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But I appreciate any of you who took a little time to listen to any of this. Like I said, I understand that I expect no one to be here, and I expect to be talking to myself. But you know what? 20,000 subscribers, 20,000 views ago, that was the same thing that was happening on my post. So I expect this to grow into something bigger, and I expect for YouTube to be a huge part of my life for this point out. So I'm not discouraged. And I encourage you all to not be discouraged about the goals that you have. YouTube and this online thing has become a goal for me. And I feel very confident that I'm going to create the future that I want to create. And I'm confident that when you all start addressing what you want to do in your life, fitness-wise, you're going to live the lifestyle that you want to lead as well. So with that, love and peace, everybody. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Out.